What's going on, guys? Brother Russia here, back with another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Today we're going to be taking a look at the STR Perfect Form Cell, the new Dokkanfest that dropped over here, and we're going to be checking him out in his nice rainbow form. So he is a tournament participants or worldwide chaos category leader, 3 key, 200% HP, 170% attack and defense. Plus gives the additional 50% HP attack and defense to characters who belong to androids or accelerated battle. Of course, just kind of going over his kit really quick. He has an entrance animation when there's a tournament participant category enemy or another tournament participants category ally at the start of his attacking turn. And if there is, he has a high chance to perform a crit, launches an additional super attack, and creates a domain Cell Games arena for 5 turns. And this is only one time, by the way. So his entrance animation is good for 1 turn. He gets 2 key, 200% attack and defense, gets 20% damage reduction, and launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super. When there's a tournament participants category enemy, he gets an extra 50% attack and defense. When he attacks with 12 or more key, he gets an extra 150% attack. For every attack performed, so he's got to perform 5 attacks because he gets 30% in defense up to 150%. When the character is KO'd, so this character specifically, he revives with HP fully recovered. And then after the character or an ally's revival skill is activated, he gets 30% damage reduction temporarily when receiving a super attack. And then after this character specifically revives, he gets 15% damage reduction and guards all attacks. Now the problem is you can't run 2 of these guys. Well, you can run 2 of these guys, but only one of them can actually get the revival. Like only one of them will get guard, one of them will get damage reduction rate of 15%, and then the other one will not. So that's the only problem, is because this, you can only activate this 1 time. I wish the KO mechanic, you could do it like more than once to, you know, actually make it useful to run like 2 of these, but unfortunately that's just not the case here. So that's kind of like his that's his passive right there. He does have a active skill, can be activated when HP is 70% or less, or starting from the 4th turn. He gets 2 key, 35% attack and defense for the rest of battle, which is basically like the same effect that the Dokkanfest Kid Goku that we just got for Saiyan Day. Basically the same thing, just doesn't recover HP. Now, of course, we got full link level 10s. And this is the build that I ended up going with. So I gave him 21 additional, 19 crit, and 3 dodge. Because realistically, other than the high chance to perform a crit for his entrance animation, he's got no crit anywhere else. So that's kind of basically why we went with the build that we went with. Plus we just gave him additionals just because he does greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn and causes immense damage. So that's what we ended up going with. And he's got a domain. Tournament participants category enemies and allies get 15% attack and defense. And then Android or Android/Cell Saga category enemies and allies get an additional 15% attack and defense for a nice 30% additional attack and defense. So we're going to hop into the, I think it's the Vegeta Saga Universal Survival Saga here. Let's hop in and see just how, let's see just how well this cell is going to perform here. So we do have the domain activated immediately. Unfortunately, I forgot to turn on my, I swear I always forget to do this. Like I try not to, but it just always happens. I didn't have the animation on, but our entrance animation is active right now. So, got not bad. 4 out of 7 links active already. We're sitting at 410k defense. Okay. So not bad, not bad. So he doesn't need a bunch of orbs or anything like that. So we'll save these for this Buhan, which surprisingly enough, I still did not do a rainbow showcase video for him yet, so I still have to do that. Wow, we took a lot of damage. So 15.7 million, that's our first attack. So now we got to remember, we are getting 30% defense every time we attack. So here is an additional 60% defense. We do another one. Okay, perfect. Now we're up to 18.2. So now we're at 90% extra defense. Love that. Oh, we're doing a fourth attack? Okay, so there's 120%. All right, so that's actually really good right there. So we only need one more attack and then we'll be fully built up. Now, the only thing is this guy does not stack attack and defense or anything like that. So essentially what we're going to see him at, attack wise and everything, is basically just, it is what it is type of thing. So unfortunately, we're not going to see some really huge, 80, 90 million attack stats or anything of that sort. Maybe we can get up to what? Maybe 30 million, maybe 40 million attack stats. We'll definitely see. We'll definitely get a rotation with, we'll definitely get a rotation with like one of these cells on there. I'll throw, no, you know what? We'll keep this one on this rotation for now. Yeah, we'll do it like this for now. We'll leave the transforming cell we'll leave the transforming cell on rotation with the other one. And then the friend can be on the rotation with this cell. That should be perfectly fine. And we will be floating like obviously the Kid Buu is going to be floated. And then this Demon King Piccolo is kind of the same thing. Once we get him transformed, he'll just be our slot 3 floating unit. So here's the only thing I'm not a huge fan of with this, with this cell right here, is the fact that he transforms immediately. So we didn't even get a chance to attack with him. So, and we didn't get a chance to attack and he's already in his second form. So we couldn't even stack up with him whatsoever. But let's see here. So we're sitting at 902k defense now. We only need one more attack and we're going to be fully built up. So we'll go ahead and grab that really quick. Okay, let's see how much damage this is going to do to us. Wow. Okay. Well, at least we got the revival off. That's good. Okay. So we got that entrance animation, or I'm sorry, we got that working out for us now. Can't believe we just got literally KO'd that quick. Let's go ahead and hit your active. Or your standby, I guess. Let's go ahead and hit yours as well. Now, obviously, the main one that we're going to be looking at is going to be mine, but we do still want to, at the very least, at the very least, we still want to build up the friend one as well. Okay, so the friend's at 24.8. Okay, but the good thing is so mine is the one that got KO'd. And that's exactly what I needed. So with mine getting KO'd now, we do get an extra 15% damage reduction, and we're going to be guarding all attacks. And now we'll be able to use my active skill. So once we do that, now we're getting an extra 30%, 35% attack and defense for the rest of the fight. So yeah, 1.6 million defense, huh? Okay, I like that. The one thing I don't like though is the fact that I couldn't really build up with the cell. What do we have? Okay, so we have everything except Kamehameha active. So let's see what this oh, I know this is gonna do nothing to us. Wow. Okay, how much is this gonna do? Probably nothing. Oh, it lowered our attack and defense. Okay, it's 24 million. That should have been higher. I mean, our attack got lowered, unfortunately. 26 mil. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have huge attack stats, unfortunately. He's going to be great defensively, though. 28 million. Yeah, I feel like he's definitely one of these units where you just want him to die immediately. Just so we can get him... get that guard going, get that damage reduction going, get his defense like fully built up. But yeah, then you guys like sell like this guy who's going to be doing the majority of your damage post easy A. And that was also with the we got to remember that that was also with the friend, or I'm sorry, with the Kid Buu on rotation. And then now we can have, was it the friend? I think it was the friend's domain that was activated immediately. So, so on the next turn, we should be able to get my domain going again. But this is actually good. Let me see. Let's see what kind of attack stat we're looking like without the domain up. 18.6. That's a significant drop from the 24 million we were just at. Yeah, so we literally went from 24 million attack stat to 18. Granted, we don't have any support on this rotation, but I mean, still, that's still a huge drop. Not having the support is not going to make you your stats that low. I say it wouldn't matter if we get supered here. We raised our attack and defense pretty good right there, I would say. Yeah, we're good. But yeah, I think we should be able to get the domain going back up next turn. But yeah, I think, like I was saying, the attack, the damage that we're going to be seeing, like the damage numbers, is probably going to be like right there at about that 30 million attack stat. I don't think we're going to see it much higher than that. And you know what? For a unit like the Cell, it is fine because he is a defensive style unit. So yeah, so now we got the domain going again. So an extra 30% attack and defense for Cell. Let's go ahead and transform you. So now you're going to be giving us a little bit more support. Because you give us, it's what, 35%, right? 30% attack and defense. Yep. So we're not on demonic power, so we're not getting the extra, but this is fine right here. So 1.7 mil is what we're sitting at. Defensively, I would say that is pretty solid. 1.7 mil. We're also, it's also with we got guard active and we got the extra 15% damage reduction as well. So we got basically 35% damage reduction here. Yeah, our attack definitely is lower. 24 million. Yeah, damage wise, again, he's not gonna be crazy. I mean, this is pretty much what I'm gonna be expecting to see out of the Cell for the long haul. But he is gonna be a great slot 1 unit defensively. And then we can just use like the AGL Cell that just got his easy A. We can just run him as our slot 2 damage unit right here, just like this. That's pretty much what we're going to be seeing out of him. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing any other crazy numbers, unfortunately. I guess this might be okay. We can't. Let's break up the rotation a little bit. 1.7 with 2 links active. So there's a lot of links that is missing currently. Obviously not being paired up with the cell. But still 1.7 million is, I'd say that's pretty solid there. 22.2. Yep. Damage wise, again, we're not going to see anything huge. That's mainly because of the fact that he doesn't stack, which is odd. You would think, like, with the Festival of Battles and everything that we've had recently, they would be making units that would stack, you know, like attack or defense. This guy doesn't do either. All he does is just greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn. So again, a little bit of a bummer in that department, but I get why they did it, because they wanted to make this guy actually like a defensive unit and kind of use the easy A cell and the super easy A cell to use those guys as your main damage dealers. But yeah, I mean, realistically, I am pretty happy to see, you know, like what we're getting out of the cell. Defense is great. Like the defense is good. Plus we're getting, you know, obviously he still has his domain up. So he's getting the extra like attack and defense there. But yeah, damage wise, again, there's some people that prioritize damage. I don't really prioritize damage too much. I like to see a nice defensive unit. This guy definitely is that nice defensive unit. I guess, like, I guess the only thing is I kind of wish that he would maybe just like stack defense, maybe at the very least down here, or maybe just stack attack just so he could do a little bit more. But defensively, 1.5, 1.7 million, with like 35% damage reduction and guard after he revives is very good. Obviously he wasn't the reason why we just lost right there. That was Buhan selling it for us. But the other problem is once his domain does run out though, he does lose that extra basically 30% attack and defense. And I mean, we saw what happened the 1 turn that the friend cell did not have that activated. We went from a 24 million attack stat to an 18 million. So I mean, defensively, I could see us going from like a 1.7 million to like a 1.4 maybe, which is still pretty good. But some of these bosses that do hit really hard, if they super first, like before Cell gets a chance to, he might still get 1 shot though. So just kind of have to keep that in mind, I guess. But there you go. There's just a quick, you know, little rainbow video of the cell. Basically we got his revival off. We were able to see him on, you know, his own team. Entrance animation activated, domain was activated, fully built up with, you know, his full defense. So we were able to basically see exactly what we wanted to see. I don't think there's going to be any other scenarios where he's going to get anything higher attack stat wise, just because there's literally no way for him to be able to do that. So let me know down in the comments below what your guys' thoughts are on the cell and his arrival to Dokkan. And if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe as well. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye guys.
Brother Russia, the whale of whales, rainbow everything, buying all the sales. In Dokkan battle, I reign supreme. 10K stones, it's not a dream.